Kamala. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the story that everyone's talking about. Why did Kamala Harris lose the 2024 election? Spoiler alert, it wasn't just one thing. Let's break down the top reasons this historic election took the turn it did. Alright, let's kick things off with point number 1, trust and perception. Stepping in as Joe Biden's successor meant Harris needed to win over a divided country, and fast. But here's the thing, she had a tough act to follow. People knew her, but not everyone was sold on her as a leader. There was this sense that Harris was kind of trying to be all things to all people, and voters could feel it. From inflation to immigration, she was expected to take on the issues that mattered most, but many people didn't feel that connection. Okay. Show of hands, or just drop a light bulb in the comments, who thinks that trust really was her biggest obstacle? Moving on to point number 2, Trump's relentless campaigning. Now, say what you want about him, but Trump's 2024 campaign was a non-stop, in-your-face kind of deal. He was everywhere. His team painted a very clear picture of Kamala that stuck in people's minds. They hit hard on her record, and in politics, once an image is set, it's hard to shake it off. Trump's base loved him, and his messaging just landed. Imagine being up against a campaign that's practically a 24/7 infomercial. It's tough, right? Who here thinks this was the game changer? Alright, it's time for point number 3, the celebrity factor. Harris had some major names backing her, Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, you name it. The Hollywood elite went all in. But here's the twist, for some people, that backfired. Yeah, it looked like she was rubbing shoulders with the stars, but to some voters, this came off as elitist. They started to wonder, does she represent us, or just the celebrities? Voters felt like her campaign didn't connect with everyday struggles. So what do you all think? Was the Hollywood glow-up a help or a hindrance? Type sparkles if you think it helped, and rolling eyes face if you think it didn't. Alright, let's talk about the voter gap for point number 4. Yes, Harris brought out a wave of young voters. She was popular among Gen Z. But in the end, it wasn't quite the Obama-level turnout needed to win. And meanwhile, Trump's base? They showed up in full force. Turnout is everything, people. You can have all the endorsements in the world, but if your base doesn't show up, it's game over. Who here actually voted in 2024? Be honest. Let us know in the comments if you were part of this historic turnout. And finally, point number 5, policy polarization. Now this one gets interesting. Key issues like immigration, law enforcement, and the economy really divided voters. Harris's policies ended up being too divisive for some, and when voters are on the fence, they go with the safer choice. For a lot of swing voters, these issues made up their minds, and they went with the person they thought would handle it better. A lot of voters, particularly in swing states, just weren't on board with the Harris vision. I want to know what you think. Were her policies the real deal-breaker here? So, let's recap. We had trust issues, Trump's campaign hustle, celebrity endorsements that missed the mark, the voter turnout gap, and some big policy divides. It's safe to say this election wasn't short on drama, right? At the end of the day, elections are about way more than policies, they're about people's perceptions. Harris had a strong team and a unique voice, but it just wasn't enough to win this time. The real question is, what's next for her? Alright, drop a comment with the one thing you think cost Kamala Harris the election, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and get ready for more election recaps and political hot takes. Thanks for watching. Outro music.